Hello everyone, this is Algebra 1, Lesson 52, and in this lesson we're going to cover more on addition of rational expressions with unequal denominators, and then we'll learn how to do overall average. Alright, so 52.1 has us adding two fractions that have variables on the top and the bottom. Alright, so we've got a over x plus b over xy. Now we know to get that the first thing we have to do is get a common denominator of the x and the xy. And to do that, in the past, we've just been multiplying them. And we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to have x times x plus y. Okay, and that's the new bottom for that first one. And then we're going to have the same thing over here, x times x plus y. Whoops. Erase that. X times x plus y. And that's the new bottom for the second one, and we'll have a plus sign in between there. Now, to get this new top right here, right, we multiplied this x times x plus y to get that new bottom down there. X times x plus y. So we got to do the same thing to the top. So we have to multiply the top times x plus y. So our new top would be a times x plus y. On this side, we multiplied this x plus y times x. So we got to do the same thing on the top. We have to multiply times x. So we would have bx as our new top. Now all we have to do is add, because our bottoms are the same, so now we can add. So we're going to have a times x plus y plus bx. So I can't put any of those together because they're not like terms. Over x times x plus y. And that is what your answer is going to look like. We can go ahead and do our distributive property here. All right, so we're going to say a times x would be ax. A times y would be ay. There's our top. On the bottom, we're going to have plus this bx right here. Nothing's multiplied times that, so we'll just put it up here. All right, and then x times x will be x squared, and then x times y would just be xy, and that's what the answer looks like. Okay, so you got to distribute is your last step. Let's work another one. All right, this one, we're going to change our bottom to be, see, we have to multiply the bottom here times the bottom there to get our new denominator, a new bottom. So that would be x times a plus b. It's going to be on that one. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, x times a plus b. All right, now for this one, we already have the a plus b, okay? It's got to turn into this. Okay, we already have the a plus b, so we just multiplied it times x. So whatever we do the bottom, we have to do the top. So we have to multiply our whole top times x. Get rid of that. On this one, we have to turn that into this, x times a plus b. So we multiplied it times a plus b. Now we have to multiply the top times a plus b. Right? So for this one on the left, we've got x times 4x plus a. And this one, we've got c times a plus b. All right, now we're just going to distribute. So we do x times 4x would be 4x squared. X times a would be xa, or ax. Let's do it in alphabetical order. Here we have c times a, alphabetical order. Okay, and then here we have C times B. Okay, all that's going to go over. Now, these two are the same, so that would be X times A plus B, but let's go ahead and distribute that. So it would be X times A, so that would be AX plus X times B, BX. And there's your answer. Now, if you wrote it this way, you didn't distribute that, you just wrote X times A plus B, that's also fine. It means the same thing. All right, let's work another one. Skipped one here. Okay. 52.3. Okay, this one we have 3 of them, and the first thing I always do when you have one like this where it's not in fraction form, is you're going to put it in fraction form. So you're going to draw a line under it and put a 1 there. Okay? All right, so we're going to have 3, a plus sign, another one, a plus sign, and another one. All right, we'll work on this one first. Now we know our new bottom has to be these 3 bottoms multiplied together. So 1 times M times X, which would just be MX. Okay, so for this one, we're trying to get MX, so we have to multiply times M, so that means we got to multiply the whole top times M. So it'll be M times A plus B. This one, we're trying to get MX, so we got to do X on the top, so that'll be CX. This one, we need the M and the X, because that's just 1 right there. So that'll be DMX. All right, now we just have to distribute right here. And M times B. And then we've got our CX. And then we've got our DMX. Okay, and that's our top. And then our bottom is just MX. And that's what your answer would look like. All right, let's do another one. All right, this one has 3 of them, and we got to put that guy over 1. So our new denominator is going to be B plus C times K. We're going to write K times B plus C. And we're going to have 3 different terms. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we got to write it 3 times. K times B plus C. And this one will be K times B plus C. All right, one of these is minus. This one's a minus. And then this is a plus. So there's that minus sign right there. And there's our plus sign right there. Okay. All right, so for this one, we had to multiply this bottom, this B plus C times K. So we got to multiply the top times K. So that'll be A, K. For this one, we had to do the whole thing, K times B plus C, because it didn't have a bottom. So we multiply the whole top times K plus B, K times B plus C. So we would have X, K times B plus C. And this one, we had to do B plus C. So we got to do that on the top, B plus C. So we're going to have D plus M times B plus C. All right, now we're going to need to distribute. Actually, in their answer, I don't think they even distribute this one. Let's see. In the example, they just left it the way it is. So you can just leave it the way it is if you need to, or if you want to. So that would be minus xk times b plus c. And then this would be plus d plus m times b plus c. All right, and then down here, this is just k times b plus c. And that's the answer right there. All right. Hope that makes sense to everybody. Let's see. Where am I going to now? All right, overall average. The average of the first 90 numbers was 4. Okay, so that means we had a whole pile of numbers, 90 numbers, and their average is 4. Okay, so we got 90 numbers whose average is 4. The next 10 numbers, average was 6. Okay, we can't just add 6 and 4 together and get 10 and then divide by 100. If we did that, we would get 10. And then, well, let's just say we added the 6 and 4 together and we said our average was 10. That's not going to come out right. What we have to do is kind of work backwards. So to find this average, they added all the 90 numbers together, right? And then they divided by 90 and they came up with 4. So we've had all of these numbers, 1 through 90, added together, right? And then we divided by 90 and we got 4. Okay, so we had a big line of numbers. Maybe I got a better way to demonstrate it. So we got a big line of numbers, blah, blah, blah. These are all numbers. Okay, and at the bottom, we have some mystery number. And then we took our mystery number and we divided it by the number of numbers, which was 90 numbers. And we got 4. So to work backwards, we're going to multiply 4 times 90, and that'll tell us what this mystery number is. Okay, so 90 times 4 will be 360. Okay, so 360 is our total for these 90 numbers. And then we had 10 numbers, A, B, C, D, blah, 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 that we don't know. And they added up to a mystery number. And then we said our mystery number divided by 10, and we got an average of 6. So we have to go backwards and say 6 times 10, which would be 60. All right, now what we're going to do is add all that together, and we'll know what the total of all of the numbers was. Okay, so the total of the first 90 numbers is 360. The total of the next 10 numbers is 60, so we're going to add those two together. We get 420. Now we just have to divide to find the average. So 420 is the total of all the numbers. Okay, and we had 100 numbers. So we had 90 numbers plus 10 more numbers makes a total of 100 numbers. So we're just going to divide by 100, and that's really easy. That'll equal 42. No, not 42. 4.2. There we go, 4.2. When you divide by 100, you move your decimal back 2. Boom, boom, 4.2. So the answer to that one is 4.2 is your average. If we average between 6 and 4, we said 6 and 4 is 10, and we divide it by 2, we get 5, and that wouldn't be right. All right, so the steps for solving these, I'm going to go back over this one more time just to make sure you guys know what to do. We're going to multiply each average times the amount of numbers for that average first. All right, so first we're going to multiply. So this is 90 numbers times 4, okay? Then we're going to multiply this next group, 10 numbers times 6. That'd be 60. Then we're going to add those two together to get our total amount. Then we're going to divide by the number of numbers. How many numbers do we have? Well, we had 10 here, and we had 90 here. So that's 100 numbers total. So we do 420 divide by 100, and we get 4.2. All right. I think next is the practice problems. So go ahead and work those, and I'll come back and work them for you. All right, hopefully you paused the video and worked out these practice problems. Now I'm going to work them for you. All right, so we're starting with A. And this one starts with x over b. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is put a 1 on that one, and then I'm going to multiply m, y, and 1. So my new bottom is going to be my. On the top, I had to multiply times m. On the first one, so I got to multiply the top times m, so that'd be mx. And I've got a minus sign right there. This one, I had to multiply the whole thing times my. So I'm going to have b, m, y. And then up here, I had to multiply times y. So I'm going to have y times c plus d. And then my new bottom down here is just going to be my. Over here, I'll have mx minus bmy plus, I forgot that's a plus right there, y times, okay, so I can distribute right there, and I can say cy, and then I can say dy. Right, let me double check that one. This should be 52. Yep, so you could write it this way, or if you wrote y times c plus d, that is still correct. So either one of those answers is correct. There's that one. B, we're basically doing the same thing. All right, so we're going to have to use a plus b, and then we're going to put this c with a 1 under it. So we're going to have b times a plus b. That's the new bottom for all of these. Okay, so for this one, I had to multiply this a plus b times b. So I got to multiply the top times b. So I'll have b times 5b plus c. This one I had to multiply times a plus b. So I got to do that on the top. That'll be a minus sign because of this negative right there. And I'll have x times a plus b. And that's a plus sign because of this plus sign here. All right, and that one I had to multiply times the whole thing. B times a plus b. So I have to do the same thing here. So that'll be cb times a plus b. All right, now I have to put those together. And you didn't even have to distribute on this one. They just left it the way it is. So you don't have to distribute on all of them. Either way is right. So then I got to put in this one, b times 5b plus c. Next one is this one, minus x times a plus b. And then this last one, plus bc or cb times a plus b. And there's your answer right there. So if you distribute, that's fine. If you don't distribute, that's fine. The answer's still the same. It means the exact same thing. All right, here's one of the average ones. The average of the first 5 weights was 10 pounds. All right, so first off, we've got 5 weights at 10 pounds. The average of the next 10 weights was 25 pounds. So we got 10 weights at 25 pounds. So I'm going to do 5 times 10. And I'm going to come up with 50 pounds. Okay, so that was this one times this one. These are 5 weights times 10 pounds. All right, and then the next one is 10 weights times 25 pounds. So that'll be 250. Okay, so I got 10 numbers. Their average is 25. I'm going to add that together. And I'm going to get 300. Now I have to divide by the number of numbers. So what's my total number of numbers? Well, here I have 5 weights, and here I have 10 weights. So that's a total of 15 numbers. Okay, because my first 5 numbers, and then my first 10 numbers, my next 10 numbers. So I'm dividing by 15. And the answer should be 20. 20 pounds. All right, that's it for lesson 51. Right? No, that was 52. That's it for lesson 52. Bye. Thanks for watching.